Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something I find absolutely fascinating. This creative technique of using a real-world cultural lineage to build characters that you just can't forget. We're going to move way beyond the generic stuff to find those powerful, specific details that make a character feel truly, deeply alive.
I mean, it's the big question, right? Every writer, every creator, every fan has wondered this. What is it that makes some characters stick with us for years? Well, as we're about to see, a huge part of the answer is in their foundation, how authentically and specifically their core energy is built right from the start.
So here's our roadmap. First, we'll break down what lineage as a blueprint really means. Then, we'll jump into some incredible examples, comparing a character whose power is all in her body versus one who owns it with her voice. We'll also look at two very different types of queens. After that, we'll explore the quiet strength of just watching, before wrapping it all up to show why this level of detail is a straight-up creative superpower. Okay, so let's get into our core concept, using lineage as a tool. Think of it like this. You're finding a specific cultural history that gives you a pattern, a blueprint, for a character's energy, their instincts, their whole presence. This is how we break free from those tired old generic archetypes. The term for this is a narratively clean match. I love that phrasing. It means you find a lineage that just clicks with the character you're imagining. It gives you this clear, consistent pattern to build on. And just to be super clear, this isn't about stereotypes at all. It's the opposite. It's about sourcing authentic, specific human textures to give your character a real soul. All right, let's see how this actually works. Our first comparison is awesome. We're looking at two characters whose power shows up in completely opposite ways. One can command an entire room without saying a single word, and the other, she commands it with her words. On one side, you have Saara. She's described as a controlled, embodied fire. Her power is physical. It's in her posture, her stillness. And then on the other side, you have Bellisja, who is pure verbal lightning. Her power is all in her mouth, her wit, her incredible timing. You've got two unbelievably powerful women, but they're running on completely different operating systems. So let's break down Saara's blueprint. Her Levantine Arab heritage gives her this pattern of composure, of emotional discipline, and a quiet pride. Then you mix that with her Dominican heritage, which brings this deep, embodied confidence and a kind of controlled rhythmic heat. You put those together, and what do you get? A woman whose authority you feel the second she walks in. She never has to announce it. It's just there. And then you've got Bellisja. Oh man, her blueprint comes from an Afro-Cuban lineage, specifically with Yoruba Lucumí roots. Now, this is a cultural pattern that's often linked with razor-sharp speech, intellectual sparring, and a confrontational kind of confidence. Her power is her verbal agility. She uses humor as a weapon to get to the truth, and she pokes people, not to be chaotic, but to see who they really are. She just absolutely refuses to shrink for anyone. And look what happens when you put these characters in the same room. You can see how these totally distinct power modes create such a rich dynamic. Saara is controlled, embodied. Bellisja is provocative, verbal. Then you add Morrisaawa, who is hierarchical, and Pepi, who's all about connection. Each one is operating in their own authentic lane, and that's what makes their interactions just electric. This one line just sums up Saara perfectly, doesn't it? A controlled flame whose power lives in her body, not her voice. It's not about what she says, it's about her very being. It's an authority you feel in your gut. And then, in perfect contrast, you have Bellisja, a woman whose power lives in her mouth, her timing, and her refusal to be quiet. She is the verbal lightning to Saara's controlled flame. And it's that precise opposition, born from their unique, specific blueprints, that makes them both so unforgettable. Okay, now let's take this same idea and apply it to leadership. We're going to look at two queenly figures whose authority comes from totally different places. One rules through structure and loyalty, and the other? She rules through pure, undeniable competence and action. First up is Morrisaawa, the moon sovereign. Her blueprint is this incredible fusion of Bandari Persian from the Gulf Coast and Afro-Panamanian. The Bandari side brings what's described as a lunar calm, this quiet power and controlled elegance. Her Afro-Panamanian side brings a disciplined, community-focused structure. The result? She's a leader who doesn't charm or seduce crowds, she organizes them. Her power is absolute, but it's totally dependent on the loyalty of her system. Now contrast that with Kurra, the Alpine sovereign. Her authority isn't based on loyalty at all, it's based on sheer mastery. Her lineage is described as a braid of 3 different threads. From her Japanese roots, she gets precision and explosive physical control. From her Mexican indigenous roots, she gets inhuman endurance and the ability to master any terrain. And from her Native American roots, she gets this deep tactical instinct. People follow her because she is, without a doubt, the most competent person on that mountain. And this one line from Morrisaawa just captures it all. A moon sovereign whose power is quiet, absolute, and conditional on loyalty. Her authority isn't about her personality, it's the entire system that she commands. Kurra's essence, though, is caught in a totally different way. An alpine sovereign whose body speaks before words. Her authority isn't given to her by some system, it is proven, second by second, through action, speed, and skill. Her competence is her crown. Now, not all power is about command or confrontation, right? There is immense strength in just being still, in quiet observation. And our next character, Narrivven, is the perfect example. He's such a crucial counterpoint to everyone else. This right here is the key to his entire character. He doesn't enter rooms to change them, he enters rooms to understand them. That immediately tells you he's playing a different game. His goal isn't influence, it's not dominance, it's comprehension. And that gives him this incredibly unique and vital role in any story. So Narrivven's blueprint is Malayali, from the Kerala region of South India. This specific lineage is one that's been shaped by coastal trade, incredibly deep traditions of literacy, and a quiet, observant kind of intellectualism. It's a perfect match for a character who is bookish, emotionally deep but not showy about it, and totally comfortable sitting in silence. He's a natural bridge between all the other louder personalities. This summary just beautifully nails his whole vibe. He's shaped by coastal scholarship, matriarchal calm, and quiet spiritual literacy. This specific lineage explains why he listens more than he talks, why people instinctively trust him, and why ultimately his stillness is his greatest strength. So we've looked at all these incredible, deeply detailed characters, and that brings us to our final and honestly our most important point. Specificity is a superpower. That precision in character creation is what separates the characters who stick with you from the ones who just fade away. See, choosing a specific lineage, finding that narratively clean match, is an active choice. It's about consciously saying no to the generic. So instead of just Latina, it becomes Afro-Cuban Lucumí rooted or Dominican. Instead of just Asian, it's Tohoku Japanese or Malayali South Indian. That precision, it's everything. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, specificity gives your character an undeniable authority. Their culture informs how they act and how they carry themselves. That lineage provides a blueprint. Remember, a blueprint, not a stereotype. And when you contrast these different blueprints, you get a way more dynamic story. All of this history adds these invisible layers of depth that an audience can feel, even if they can't quite put their finger on what. So the next time you watch a movie, or read a book, or play a game, I want you to look for these patterns. Look past the surface and ask yourself, whose blueprint do you see now? Thanks so much for joining me.